Again though, 5th ban unique, they're gonna have a long think about it.
Dire team pick.
Medusa is actually the ban out from unique, and I thought maybe unique may think about taking the Medusa themselves. And maybe just run the Void Spirit safe lane this time, but looks like Ush does want it. Because Medusa and Oracle is a disgusting duo. But will no longer be available as they do go again to the Grimstroke. I mean, So was making a lot of pressure across the map early on. The Soulbind dropping off a little bit later on, like they didn't really have the greatest Soulbinds or the greatest skills to use with Soulbind, but he was still being a real menace just on his own with the Inkswell spam early.
10 seconds remaining.
Can't really blame for Unique for just wanting to pick that up again.
5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
Disruptor.
Strike, they do get the Mars Disruptor duo. Static Storm, Kinetic Field into the Arena of Blood. Very, very powerful. A great hero up against that Void Spirit to boot, right? Like, you just want to silence this Void Spirit and keep him held in. He's really not a tanky hero once you do have him locked down. The main issue is controlling that mobility that Ush will have.
Remaining.
This Void Spirit is just a great pick. Even if he does Astral Step away, you always have that glimpse to bring him back.
Radiant team pick.
Unique. Ooh, the Juggernaut again coming out. Seen this quite a bit over the past couple days, the Juggernaut going for the Mask of Madness builds. It's a very old school build that has come back into popularity. You can just really just pop the Mask of Madness during an Omni Slash and suddenly your attack speed goes crazy.
10 seconds.
Hasn't had the greatest win rate, I must admit. But I think there is some viability to this hero as a position 1 in this meta. Especially considering the Lifestealer and the Troll just don't really feel quite as effective as they used to. And there's also so many builds you can go for with the Jug. Like if you were versing something like a Medusa, you could just go into the Diffusal. You can still go Maelstrom, and we do see some Jugs doing that. But Winstrike, they'll go into the TA now. It's a great lane dominant hero. They had the Lina mid lane before, and I thought that would have been a pretty easy win for that mid lane Lina, but it turned out that Ush did kind of eventually end up outscaling him anyway. With the TA, it's even more lane dominant than the Lina can be.
5 seconds.
And even if he does have a bad lane, he can always just go back to the jungle and really start to farm up quick. We'll see Unique, their final ban, they actually ban out the Lycan. That's the second time during this main event that we've seen a Lycan ban as that final ban. Some teams fearing that hero coming out.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
Husker, final ban out from Winstrike. Because Husker directly counters the TA with those Fire Spears and works very, very well in combination with the Oracle. And very nice ban from Winstrike. That would have forced the Void Spirit to go offlane anyway, and I'm not sure if Unique really would have wanted to do that.
Dire team pick.
And we see the Razor come out. Now, if I'm frank, I wouldn't blame them for picking up Underlord again. It is going to be a safe lane Razor, so it would be a very hard lane. But just that lockdown that they had during the last team, just the last game, it just seems so valuable. Of course, Firestorm does burn through refraction charges quite quick.
10 seconds remaining.
But you would have to suffer the Razor safe
5
lane.
seconds remaining.
So you definitely wouldn't have as good of a start, or nearly as good. It would probably be pretty terrible. Does seem like Unique need a bit more crowd control. They really haven't got much going in terms of stuns or just disable and utility with their team right now. Doom is there if they want to run an offlane Doom and get the double Doom with the Soulbind. Also a great counter towards the TA. Oh, okay, they go for the Death Prophet. There's been a lot of debate over whether Death Prophet is a viable hero in the meta. I'd say it is, especially if you do have the TA matchup, because Spirit Siphon just ruins the refraction of TA, so it makes Young G's life very, very hard. The only issue with the Death Prophet is you're so reliant on playing around the exorcism timing. So once it's on cooldown, the team fight's over. You've got to get out. You can't really keep fighting. So every tower push, every fight, you must have exorcism if you really want to be effective as that DP. If you do time it well, then she can be very devastating. In some ways, it also does sort of decent up against the Razor. Like, you don't necessarily want to sit there and get static linked, but at least you can siphon some HP back your way while all that's happening. Of course, Winstrike going to be desperate to win this game too. They had a pretty rough start for the group stages, currently 0-2 in that group. So are Team Unique, to be fair. They also have had a pretty rough start to this main event. Both teams are kind of desperate to pick up a win. As it stands right now, it kind of looks like they're both going to end up in the lower bracket playoffs anyway. And we'll get started. Winstrike versus Unique, game 2. No pauses, which is fantastic to see.
Prepare for battle.
A beautiful, adorable Tiny. Got really sad when I saw those Tiny nerfs coming out. Like, it's... The toss into tier 1s has been such a staple for Tiny for so many years. Just really upsetting seeing them trying to nerf it now. I have no idea what Nofi is saying, unfortunately. Hopefully someone in the chat can translate. Beautiful rainbow in the mid lane. Mr. Cameraman really trying to get some views out onto the Death Prophet.
30 seconds to battle.
Fantastic, lovely. Winstrike, I've got to say, are on a bit of a timer with this draft. Like, the TA does drop off quite a bit once you get to that late game, and doesn't necessarily do very well up against the Jug in the late game, nor the Death Prophet. So you're going to be looking at Winstrike to apply quite a bit of map pressure after that 10 to 15 minute mark. Especially once you have the Deso Blink on TA, you really want to start making things happen across the map. Can't afford to just sit in lane. So, Fortune's End. We throw down this Razor. Nofi and Sobad already just really giving it to him. Stroke of Fate, though, won't connect. They do actually get some a nice wave underneath the T1, though. What a toss coming out. TSA sitting up. Why are we looking at mid lane? Bot lane. Patushra does get out of there. Very, very deep dive from the Void Spirit, but he will be able to get a pull off. And he will eventually get away with this. Although, another nice toss, TSA just really punishing for this. In fact, he might find a first blood. He does have brown boots, so he does force out the W. But Tushra, this is not how he wanted to start this game. In TSA, he will eventually let him go, but how much regen is this Void Spirit going to have to burn through? Will be a Tango and a Salve. Meanwhile, at top, that Jug's going to have a little bit of a rough time. Mars Disruptor lane is just quite difficult to work with when you're a melee core like a Jug. You won't really be able to get anyone down with the spin either. Like, the Mars is just too tanky. Maybe the Disruptor if you get lucky. It's a Young G as well in the mid lane. Getting some... Oh, actually, very nice side blades. Misses the second one, gets the third one. Ush trying to Spirit Siphon his way to victory. The Fairy Fire as well. Do you have Crypt Swarm? He doesn't, but he'll keep chasing Young G, and in fact, he does. So darn close for Young G. But nice little bait in from the DP as bot lane now. More pressure on Patushra. But a very clutch Fairy Fire and the Spirit Siphons. You just can't underestimate how much they heal this DP up, even at the early levels.
Trust me, I know how to handle such power.
Even finds an Arcane Rune, so that Crypt Swarm is so spammable. Ush gonna go for the Spirit Siphon. Young G's gonna be hating his life right now. He'll turn around. Refraction Charge is already burnt through. At least he has the CS going his way on the TA. Bush. More Spirit Siphons. Young G just manning up. Crypt Swarm will come out at the end. Young G, how much regen do you have? For now, enough. Bot lane Patushra. No fear. Does find Kiki. Top lane. Does get it on the Oracle. It's another thing. You can't really underestimate Purifying Flame damage. The early levels, it's just so effective in finding those, securing a kill.
Structures are fortified.
TSA, Avalanche, toss back into the Razor, and so bad. That Static Link is in a lot of trouble. He'll get an Ink Swell out and at least find a stun. And looks like Plasma Field does connect, and they do get the kill. Nice play from TSA on the Tiny, setting that up. Push again mid lane. Not leaving Young G in peace. Young G is still farming very well considering the circumstances. 21 and 4, but another Spirit Siphon. Young G, do you have Refraction? I believe he should. Ush getting baited in a little bit, but he finds the kill just before TSA comes in. That last Crypt Swarm, just in time, is now bot lane. They found the Razor with the Remnant. Static Link making it very hard, but they will have the magic damage output. Beautiful is Aggressive Child, gonna get chased down up at the top lane. Fate's Edict will remove some of that Thunderstrike damage.
For my coffers.
Tiny is doing something right now. TSA threw an Avalanche out. Ush is chasing with the Spirit Siphon. Another one. Crypt Swarm. Shouldn't really have the damage unless he has another Crypt Swarm ready, but there's a little bit of a higher cooldown than that. But we do hit that level 6 mark now where we'll want to try and commit Exorcism onto that tier 1 mid and just apply a bit of chip damage, a bit of pressure. Get it on cooldown ASAP. Geed, Fortune's End, Aggressive Child, gonna have the spin. Purifying Flames again will secure the kill for No Fear. This DK Fogos going to chase, but the healing ward was there anyway. Aggressive Child may just turn around now and harass out the Mars a little bit. Young G, he's had enough of that mid lane. He's let TSA take over on the Tiny. At least that'll allow the Tiny to get some XP. Not really much gold for this Tiny though. He can't really get in range to get any last hits. That is the one positive about picking a TA, is you can just farm the jungle so efficiently. There's that exorcism coming out. Creep wave, do they bother fortifying it? They will not. The Radiant will just have to cop this damage. And well, there's the fortify coming out. ESA getting ready for an avalanche toss. Ush is obviously going to be the target. Spirit Siphon is there. The toss was straight up though. He didn't actually toss him back to Young G. And with that, they claim another kill though. Ush falling low now, but more Spirit Siphons coming out. It will not be enough. So they do find this DP kill. It did take a lot of tower damage to get there, and you did lose your support Tiny, but it is well worthwhile for Winstrike. And with that exorcism down, they know they have a little bit of a period where they can just farm up. Indeed. Again, going to be chased down by Aggressive Child. He does not have Omni Slash, or doesn't have the mana for it. Now he does. DK Fogos going to cop it, but the creep wave does allow the bounce to happen, and Aggressive Child is not going to get the full amount of damage that he would have liked to see. As Razor will find Patushra down at the bot lane on the Void Spirit. It's going to even it out a little bit, 4 to 6. Still a slight net worth lead for Unique. Nothing too bad. Looks like DK Fogos again going to be the target, but that spin damage really doesn't feel like enough. In fact, he may try and turn the no. Purifying Flames. Again, no fear on a killing spree on this Oracle. Gonna get a lot of farm. In fact, he does have his full Tranquils coming out as mid lane. Toss back onto Ush. Spirit Siphons may not be enough to save him here. He's still trying to walk away, still healing up, and in fact, it will be enough. He has a regen rune bottled up. He'll pop it immediately. And I believe TSA may have been caught out in the mid. It looks like he has been, and he does go down to Patushra. So, Patushra may go down for his trouble. The Razor trying to find this kill. Static Link should be enough though. There's the shield popping out. It will not save him. But now the DP going to be in trouble. Fate's Edict being put on the Razor to stop him from trying to hit. But they'll find so many kills. A triple kill coming out. This is the power of the Razor. One early rotation, he finds a triple kill. Suddenly the net worth is looking a lot better for Winstrike.
Dire structures are fortified.
And with this draft, there's not really much they can do about it. They've just got to keep farming up and avoid the Razor as much as you can. He could just fight with no items at all. No, top lane, Arena of Blood comes out. Soban does get skewered and does end up dying. Aggressive. They do have an avalanche, so TSA does cancel that TP play. Now the toss. Static Link, Aggressive Child, he has nowhere to go but to his grave. TSA will pick up the kill on the Tiny. That's just before the 10-minute mark, which will allow them to secure both top bounty runes. The bottom ones will be grabbed by Patushra on the Void Spirit. Looks like Unique X's them up with an Arcane Rune bottled up. They're ready to go and try to push this T1 again. Winstrike, can you defend? The X is being popped with the Arcane. Be a very low cooldown for this DP. And the defense, not really going to be there. It's 4 heroes from Unique, so it's definitely not a smart idea to try. It's just the power of the DP. It opens up the jungle now for Unique to take over.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
And as well as that, looks like they may just head down to the bot lane where there's another T1 they could take very, very easily. Exorcism will be wearing off, but it won't matter too much. They have 4 heroes there. Make it 3 as there is going to be a TP out from Patushra. But now you have Winstrike. They are starting to pressure that mid lane.
Radiant structures are fortified.
They won't get away with it.
Dire's top tower is
Void
under
Spirit
attack.
is there. They go back in, but there's the fortification being forced out now.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
PSA, just gonna wait till somebody pops out. Remnant doesn't actually get him. DK Phogos with an invis room, but he was underneath the sentry ward.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
Mid lane pressure is still around for Winstrike, but you see Unique happily defending. Winstrike, this is a lot of time being committed. The Exorcism is ready to go again, so Unique can definitely take a team fight if they wish. They will eventually back out. Getting pretty close to the Desolator anyway on your TAs, so it's probably best you just pick that up first before you try for that mid-tier 1. Aggressive. He's just been free farming the bot lane for quite a while. Bot lane, DK, gonna be the target. Fortune's End will be there with the Spirit Siphon, so just a lot of damage. Just no chance of his survival. Unique. Want to make use of that Exorcism. Tier 2 bot tower would be nice. Winstrike will immediately try to pressure the Tier 1 to force them back. It may actually work as the DP is starting to rotate. They haven't even started hitting the Tier 1 yet. I think it's fine to just go for that bottom Tier 2. In fact, it will be a double damage rune that took the DP back. He just wanted to bottle that up first. So now, Winstrike really definitely can't take a team fight. Unless they can somehow burst this DP down. But with double damage and Exorcism, or Static Storm already going to be dropped. Spirit Siphon's in the back, DK. You have Arena. He was silenced, but now he can throw it down. They will try for it. Spirit Siphon Spear. False Promise, though, immediate, and now this looks really bad. Winstrike trying to run away, but the Soulbind just holding them in place, and they get killed off. Aggressive Child may die. That'll be one positive, but they're going to lose so much more on this Radiant side as the TA still moving forward. They do find her. Avalanche not going to help the cause. It may even be a full team wipe. TSA the only man left. Fortune's End flies in with that Remnant to hold him down. And Ush with the Spirit Siphon slows him down. That's an ultra kill for the DP. And they did try to get rid of Ush immediately with that Arena of Blood Spear. But there was just too much chaos. I don't believe the TA just jumped straight on the DP either. It's a 5-for-2 trade. At least they will not lose the T2 tower. So they do actually back off on Unique. They don't want to try and force this with that Exorcism.
Thank you, my beauties.
Now Unique do hold a 1k net worth lead. See, the odds are apparently still in Unique's favor. It's mid lane. The DP jumping on TSA. They're going to find that kill.
Surrender all hope to the void.
Bush now chasing for more. The Astral step forward. Clumsy net. And they do catch out the support disruptor.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Orca Keyed. Nothing he can do about that. And it was a very nice play from Patushra, just Astral stepping forward and using his clumsy net to lock him down. Strike on the back foot. Trying to get more farm up on Young G. He's going to go for that blink first, it seems. I wouldn't blame him either for going for the BKB, but he does need to be able to jump as soon as this Arena of Blood is dropped. They certainly have a way of getting rid of the Death Prophet early with that Arena of Blood, but you may need the blink to position
Radiant's
yourself, and
middle
there it
tower
is.
under attack.
Do also have a Maelstrom on the jug now. And there's that. So we do hear a Yule's going on. Static Storm, he's actually been pushed out of it. It won't matter though. They do get Patushra. And an immediate pause from Young Chi. Here we go again. It's the frontal views. Oh, alright, we're going next level now. We're not even going down to the ground to view them. Such a cute tiny with a Christmas tree. Mid lane. Winstrike are pursuing that T1 again. You do are fighting into Ush. Does have Exorcism, so it's a very risky team fight to take. Even the Roshan being pinged out. But rather than trying to push another tower, they want to commit Exorcism to take a quick Roshan. Nothing wrong with that. The thing is, Winstrike have all their abilities up apart from Arena. They seem to feel safe without that Arena of Blood being active. In fact, never mind, Static Storm's on cooldown as well. So a nice play here, Unique. Taking advantage of the enemy cooldowns. And they won't even bother trying to jump in. Absolutely no point for Winstrike. Still, now you've got an Aegis on aggressive Child. It's going to make him feel a hell of a lot safer. And surprisingly enough, this Jug, he actually didn't go for the Mask of Madness build. So he's rushing a Mjolnir, and that's the old school Jug build in the previous Jug meta. Has been nerfed, as we saw in that last patch. You're definitely not as effective early without that Mask of Madness, but you can become a late game powerhouse with this.
Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's middle tower
Mid lane,
is under
Winstrike
attack.
starting to pressure again. Still unable to claim the T1 mid. We are about to approach that 20-minute mark. Looks like it should even out to a 2-2 trade on the bounties anyway, as Unique have control over the right side of the map.
Dire are scanning. Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Dire's top tower is under attack.
Bot lane. Whole of Unique are rotating down. DK has already TP'd out, but it is going to be a free T2. You'll see Winstrike rotating up to the top lane now, trying to trade for another Tier 2.
Radiant's bottom
You do
tower
have
has
Exorcism on the
fallen.
DP as well as Aegis, so you can pressure the high ground. And Ush is going to make his way up, pops the ultimate immediately.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And Winstrike aren't actually in a position to defend. Like, the TA is mid lane right now. And it looks like she's just trying to find the mid tier 1.
Dire's middle tower
I don't know if she'd be able to defend anyway if she came back, but she'll finally TP in. They'll lose that tier 3, but there's the static link coming out. BKB being popped as well. And an Arena with the spear actually does burst down Ush. Now Unique need to get the hell out. Aggressive Child, very, very low. He has Aegis. He has already committed Omni Slash, apparently. They'll lose No Fear. Static Storm and Kinetic Field gonna hold him in. The only man able to get out of there is Patushara. So although they lost the tier 3 tower, they're not gonna mind. Got a great bunch of kills on the side of Unique. A lot of golden XP gained for Winstrike. We never really saw the False Promise come out on the Death Prophet. He committed it on himself eventually. The DP needed it such a long time ago.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I'm not sure if it was TSA who controlled the Oracle up the whole time. Didn't quite catch that. That is certainly an easier way of taking a team fight for Winstrike if you can make sure the False Promise never comes out. The DP can be quite squishy. Smoke up, Winstrike. See, Patushara. Not an easy target to really land on. They do have a blink though on TSA. They can break that distance with the Avalanche Toss blink. Just gonna roam in, smoke. There, immediately Arena of Blood drops, and now the Static Storm, he just gets destroyed, as well as No Fear. He was in the Avalanche, so he couldn't False Promise. So bad, loses his life. Aggressive Child just getting out of there. The Tushara just straight astral stepping through the tree line. My god. As soon as that spear comes in with the Arena, Young G, he just makes the blink and gets that Meld Strike off, and
Dire's bottom tower
the
is under
DP just
attack.
cannot survive it.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
This is going to give so much to Winstrike. So many objectives to be taken.
Dire's
Another tier 1,
structures are
another tier 2. They're definitely not going to back off because of the fortification.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Illusion!
Dire's bottom tower
That's
has
it.
fallen.
Only one outer tower left standing for Unique. We saw the Jug. He just doesn't have any influence in the team fights yet. Just with the Maelstrom alone, the Omni Slash really isn't that strong. His farm has been a bit of a struggle in comparison of the Razor and the TA.
Gold is a great conductor.
A gift from the tempest of battle.
So Unique, they've got to try and slow this down a bit, it seems. The TA does eventually drop off anyway. They've got to buy a lot more space for this Jug. Because his farm is just not going quick enough. Even with the Mjolnir. Winstrike know this, of course, and they're going to keep this aggressive positioning. They've got eyes on the Jug. Kiki has Glimpse. Can spin through the Glimpse anyway, so he won't bother. But Winstrike, they smell blood in the water. They want to try and find another pick-off and go for that mid-tier 2. Looks like they have as well. Exorcism has been popped straight on the Disruptor. Kikade, they want this, but the Kinetic Field Static Storm already down. Now the Arena. That Void Spirit is stuck. No fear. He's already lost his life, but he got the False Promise off in time. Ush, he can't really do much right now in that Arena. It finally wears off, but he's copping way too much damage. The Exorcism, though, he'll be fine. They'll turn around now on the TA, and it looks like Young G has no way out. And I guess that's the one difference in these team fights. Doesn't matter if No Fear dies. If he presses the R button on DP, they win. That's all it takes. And I thought the damage that the TA was dealing was gonna make it so he just died after False Promise, but he had so many Spirit Siphons up already that the heal was just insane. Like, as you can see by that little graph, he had 4 during that team fight.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
You'll see, Ush appears to be trying to go for an Aghanim Scepter. That only kind of boosts the healing he gets during that False Promise, as well as the damage output, of course, but every time he uses an ability or just attacks, a Ghost will fly out and give him a bit more HP.
Dire are scanning.
Strike just calming down for a little bit, not wanting to throw too much away. Jump in, TSA, silenced up, Ush, there's a Soulbind, Spirit Siphons to follow. The Fortune's End even flying out from a mile away. They don't have Exorcism yet. Arena, they do find the DP. But you have False Promise immediately from No Fear just before he dies. Ush, how do you fight this? BKBs are up on the side of Winstrike. Looks like it won't matter too much yet, but now the Static Storm Kinetic Field, it will take down the DP. Looks like they have found the Void Spirit. Tushra, does he survive? Probably not. He is Astral Stepping away though, as they do chase the Jug now. Aggressive Child, the third to die. Tushra did leave the building, but now a tier 3 tower going to be there for the taking for Winstrike. They even have a double damage on Young Chi, so he hits these towers so hard. And this will also be the first racks of the game. We never saw the bottom racks being taken from Unique. You have Exorcism up now, but you don't have a buyback. Looks like Junk will buy back, but do you already lose one? No, not quite. Patushra survives. Pretty darn close, but not close enough. They'll find another tier 3, and that'll be enough.
Radiant's bottom barracks are
Roshan is available for Winstrike to take, and I believe Unique won't even be able to fight this, as, I mean, they just committed buybacks. They could try. They may feel confident enough with that Exorcism False Promise play. And surprisingly enough, Winstrike do not rush for the Roshan pit. And it appears that is the smart decision, as Unique have smoked up and are rushing towards the pit immediately. But I don't think Unique will be quite as scared to take it. A trap will scout them out once they get started. In fact, Aggressive Child is underneath the Sentry Ward anyway. Razor, gonna get used up. Glimpse back onto Ush. Just holding on to the Exorcism for now. Both teams retreat. Never mind, Winstrike smokes up again. Bush, bit of a sitting duck. He doesn't have the Oracle that close by, though they are going to get Tushra instead. Silence, BKB immediately on the DP. False Promise will be there in time. Spirit Siphons as well flying out with the Yules. Does Bush survive this? Omni Slash bouncing around, but really doesn't do as much as you would hope. but they have control on the side of Winstrike. They'll find Young G, they'll find DK Phogos, and they go for more now. The Razor TPing away will get out, but the Roshan is there for the taking for Unique. And with no contest, could be a very easy one at that. Young G buys back, he wants to fight this. Kinetic Field, gonna give vision and hold them in. TSA, Avalanche Toss, Aggressive Child, barely survives though, no. They get the final auto attack off from Kikid. And Ush is forced back as Nullified flies out from Young G with the Meld Strike. It's a lot of damage, but where it's not really enough. Ush gets out of there, Patushra glimpse back. TP, he does lose his life. Patushra as well, falling low, the trap damage may be enough. TSA, keeping eyes out on him. But that buyback from Young G actually securing this team fight because they knew Exorcism had run out. It looked good for a second there from Unique, but again, this Omni Slash really isn't doing much. Just feels like it does no damage. Like the Jug has honestly felt like a non-factor this whole time.
Dire's top barracks are under attack.
Again, second racks. No buybacks on Unique. Winstrike. So far taking
Dire's
this
top
game.
barracks has fallen.
Only one racks left, but their creep wave has pushed pretty deep on the bot lane. They're going to take their time anyway. They've still got plenty of time available on the Aegis.
Illusion.
The Daedalus being queued up by Young G. Stay grouped up, Winstrike. Yeah, that's probably the reason why you don't see any damage from the Jug. He's only got Mjolnir Yasha. That explains a little more. And just Omni Slash, it does a little bit. I'm sure he could burst down a support. Do see the beautiful TA. Young G will reconnect and immediately gives the go-ahead. Winstrike just waiting for an opening. You already see DK and TSA waiting for someone to get onto that low ground. Now, Unique do hold. They could buy themselves heaps of time if they just can wait for this Aegis to expire. But don't know if Winstrike will have the confidence to go to high ground without that Aegis on Young G. Jeez, he's got an Imclaw as well. He's pretty much had it the whole game, but with the Imclaw meld hit, if you have the Daedalus and if you crit on both, oh boy. It's going to be a big hit. We do see Ush still trying to get the Aghanim Scepter, but it's just been so slow. He did opt for the Shiver's Guard before it, but it feels like he's been trying to get that item for so long now. To be fair, there is an 18k, 19k net worth lead for Winstrike. That would explain quite a bit. We do finally see the Ags though. No buyback gold. Not really sure if he even has it available right now. Looks like they are confident that they're going to be able to delay this high ground. Just my god. He's not so cute anymore, that's for sure. These remnants. How annoying. Winstrike, yeah, it looks like they're probably just gonna let the edge expire. Although they do get the Daedalus up on the TA, so perhaps that's what they were waiting for. Oh, aggressive! Does manage to spin TP. It is buying enough time for aggressive to get this mantra up. Not that that's gonna make that big of a difference, but let's give you a few more stats. Purge off the silence, if there is one. So you do have the Mindbreaker on TA, so there's that. So bad. Looks like he is caught out, though no. Nice 4-star TSA jumps in with the dust and gets a toss off. Soulbind immediately being committed by Sobad. He's just going to try and run his way out. Inkswell, and he does actually make it as now the team fight started. Ush jumping in, but immediate BKBs, and he is alone right now. False Promise comes in. The DP will survive. There's the Omni Slash bouncing through, but again, not really doing too much. They're losing heroes left, right, and center for Unique as the Razor eats the cheese, survives longer, kills off the TA, or kills off the Death Prophet, I mean. Now, Aggressive Child also tries to run. Inkswell, gonna save him for a little bit. Gets used up again. They've lost Patushra. There's no buybacks left, and I think this is just over. GG's been called. And there you have it, Winstrike. They force it to a game number 3. You love to see it. Unique. Honestly, they look like they had this game in the bag for the first half. Couple bad team fights and just some little bit of a lackluster farm, and it seems as though Winstrike were just able to take over in the end. Of course, props to Young G for the great TA play, and even the Razor finishing on 7-3. We'll be back for game number 3 very, very soon, ladies and gentlemen. It is MLP Dota. Shouldn't be too long.